half hour in, we're dealt 7-4 suited on the button during a 6-handed bomb pot. Everybody puts in $200 each, and we go straight to a flop. It comes 7-4-4 rainbow. That's right, we're kicking things off with a full house and 5 opponents. Small blind and big blind check. Under the gun is an aggressive player. He bets 200. The hijack calls, the cutoff folds, the action's on us. We have this board so locked up, there's only one possible combo that beats us. We want to keep opponents in with straight draws who are drawing close to dead. I call as a trap. The small blind folds quickly. The big blind may want to make a move. It's not worth it though. He folds as well. It's down to 3 of us. The turn is the 6 of spades. It might be a great one for us if one of our opponents has 8-5 or 5-3. Our overcall on the flop and straight completer on the turn worry the opponents as they both check. Recently, I've been taking ceramic art classes because I heard it would help me build huge pots. So far, it has not been what I was expecting. The instructors haven't mentioned anything about betting turns at all, so I'm kind of winging it here as I bet 700. It's less than half pot, but it's still too much for the opponents. Both of them fold. After a phenomenal flop and only flatting the flop bet, we don't accumulate any additional chips. With over 1,000 in the middle before the cards were dealt, it's still a nice win for us though. In this one, we're dealt queen deuce suited. Unfortunately, the queen deuce game is not on. The hijack raises to 125. He's a good pro. Actually, everyone in the game is a good pro. It's a particularly tough lineup today since everyone plays for a living, but we're hoping the table will fill up with some recreationals. Small blind calls. With our suited cards and big blind discount, I call to close the action. 3 of us are seeing the flop. The dealer puts out queen 6-4 rainbow. We've got top pair with some backdoor draws. Small blind checks. We're probably best, but we're pretty much always going to let the initial pre-flop raiser have a crack at it. I check to him. The hijack checks back quickly. Now I'm a lot more certain that we're holding the winner. The turn is the 10 of hearts, giving us a flush draw. The small blind checks again. He probably doesn't have anything. A 10 is a good card for the pre-flop raiser's range since it's a second Broadway card. I check to him, hoping to induce a bluff by some ace-jack or ace-king type of hands. The hijack disappointingly checks back. He may have something with showdown value like ace-10 or king-10 that he doesn't need to turn into a bluff. The river is the 5 of clubs. Some unlikely straights and 2-pair combos get there, but it's mostly a blank. The small blind checks for a 3rd time. We basically never see anyone check 3 times with top pair or better on a board like this, so I put him on air at the moment. We're going to value bet, but worse hands are going to have trouble calling us if we go too large. For that reason, I make a small wager of 150 to widen the range of hands that we can get called by. No one's going to want to fold for that amount, including the hijack. He calls. I put him on a 2nd pair or worse type of hand. The small blind all of a sudden takes a play out of Ellen DeGeneres' agent's playbook and decides that he wants to rep a monster. He check raises to 1,000. We need to pause and evaluate the situation. What does it look like we have? Well, we check the flop and turn and then only bet small on the river as if we had a weak hand trying to either get thin value or get to showdown cheaply. The hijack called our tiny wager rather than raise, indicating that he doesn't have much. It seems like a nice opportunity for the small blind to put in a raise and steal the pot. The only problem is that his line makes almost no sense. Why would he check a strong hand on the river when there's no real reason for him to believe that anyone behind him would bet? Also, our check on the flop and turn were done for deception, so our hand was previously under-repped. I doubt the small blind has 2-pair or better like he's pretending. I call for 850 more because I don't see how we're going to be beat that often. It's a little scary having a player behind us, but I'm confident in my read that he doesn't have us beat either, and it's going to be tough for him to overcall. The hijack folds. The small blind reveals that he was making a move with pocket 8s. He had double removal to the straight and turned his hand into a bluff. The hijack revealed that he had ace-10 and he folded to the raise after we called. We Sherlock Holmes that one to get the victory. Our small bet on the river works out even better than I anticipated as we get value from both opponents with a pair of queens and no kicker. We look down at king-9 suited just a few hands later in middle position. I raise to 125. The big blind is the only caller. We're heads up in position. The flop comes king-jack 4 rainbow. We've got top pair, and with 2 Broadway cards out there, we're supposed to c-bet this basically 100% of the time, since it favors our range so much. The big blind checks. I perhaps miss a bet and check back for deception. The turn is the king of hearts, giving us trips that the big blind definitely won't suspect that we've got. The opponent bets 125. The big blind may feel like any pair that he have is best after we checked back the flop. I hope the opponent likes to be shocked because we put in a surprise raise to 400. Our raise shouldn't seem very credible in the big blind's mind, which is why it'll be even more effective. We should get called by all sorts of weak or medium strength hands, potentially some draws. I'd love to get a call from queen 10 that's drawn slim and in big trouble if he hits a 9. The opponent calls our raise. He doesn't believe us. The river is the 6 of clubs. It's a total blank. The big blind checks. We're going to target a variety of worse holdings with a large bet of 1100. It should look like we've got quads, a full house, or absolutely nothing, given how we played this. The opponent could call us with a worse king, a jack, or some other random weak combo that he thinks will be good if we have air. The opponent's thinking about it, so he must have something with some showdown value, even if it's only ace-10. After about 30 seconds, he folds. Our large bet and bizarre line, it doesn't help us make any additional money on the river. At least it's still a smooth session so far. In this one, we pick out pocket queens in middle position. The player on our right raises to 125 from under the gun +1. We're not going to 3-bet at a high frequency when we're facing a raise from an early position player. Queens is a 3-bet 50% of the time. In this instance, I call, mostly because the player on our left is an ultra-aggressive opponent who 3-bets a large percentage of the time. I'll put in a back 4-bet if we see a re-raise here. No 3-bet comes, but the button calls. We're going 3 ways to the flop. It comes ace-10-6 with 2 diamonds. I'm now okay with not 3-betting, knowing that the flop is ace-high. Everyone checks. The turn is the queen of diamonds, giving us a hidden set. Under the gun +1 might like seeing the queen too. He bets 200. With 3 high diamonds accounted for, it's very unlikely that an early position preflop raiser is going to have a flush because he shouldn't be opening with many low diamond combinations. He's going to have a few combos like king jack, king 9, and jack 9 of diamonds, and maybe a couple of others, but he's mostly representing a set, straight, or 2 pair. I still have to be concerned that the button could have a flush or straight because he'll have more combos in his range containing 2 diamonds, and he's a business guy who likes to play pretty much all suited cards. I call to keep the pot manageable and wait to get more info from our opponents before we potentially make a move. The button folds. I'm glad to see that. We're heads up in position with a sneaky strong hand. The river is the 5 of hearts. It doesn't change anything. Under the gun +1 bets 250. This is a small sizing that I wouldn't expect to see from any hand that beats us. If he went larger, I'd potentially call to get to showdown. With this blocker type bet, we're going to make it more for value. I raise to 700. Under the gun +1 doesn't have much and doesn't think long before he folds. Maybe we could have made more if we 3-bet pre-flop, or maybe we would have only taken it down at that point. We'll never know. We haven't won any huge pots today yet, but mostly things are going our way as we continue to win small and medium ones. Next we pick up 7 deuce for the 3rd time today. We're on the button, it folds to us. I'm tempted to raise to 1,000 just so we can end the hand and win 200 from each player at the table, but obviously we can't get away with something like that more than once unless we mix in doing it with big hands like aces and kings occasionally. I raise to 125 like I almost always do. The big blind calls, spoiling our dreams of winning without seeing a flop. The dealer puts out king 6-6 rainbow. We've got nothing. The opponent checks. The big blind is going to have more trips combos than we will, so I check back with plans of attempting a delayed steal on future streets if we get the opportunity. The turn is the ace of spades. It's a great card for us because we'll check back a lot of ace highs on the flop that have now improved. The big blind checks. It's time to go for the steal. I bet 200, hoping this will be quick and painless like the other wins with 7 deuce. The big blind doesn't let us have it. He calls. Maybe he just has something like a flush draw though. The river is the 10 of diamonds. Queen jack gets there and some other straight draws on the turn and proved a 3rd pair. I'm not all that concerned about it though. The big blind checks. There are a number of hands that might have called turn bets that aren't going to love seeing continued pressure on the river. I announce a bet of 700 as I release a yellow bird into the wild. The big blind snap folds. We show him that we got the bluff through once more with 7 deuce.
No, again?
Winning with 7 deuce the 3rd time breaks one of our opponent's brains. He continues saying, no, 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 for several hours because he just can't contemplate getting beat by it and having to pay us over and over. The worst hand in poker has become the most profitable one for us so far today. In this one, we're dealt ace-jack suited in the big blind. Under the gun +1 raises to 150. The cutoff calls. We have a great hand to see a flop with. I call for 100 more. 3 of us are advancing. The flop comes ace-jack-6 with 2 spades and a heart. We've got top 2 pair. I check. Under the gun +1 checks. He often fires in c-bets, so I'm not very happy about seeing him play this passively. The cutoff checks back. The turn is the ace of hearts, giving us the nuts. We've got top boat. Our hand is almost too strong though. We've got everything. I don't see how we're going to get much money out of anyone unless we give him an opportunity to bluff or catch up. I check. Under the gun +1 checks. The cutoff may have picked up a heart draw. He bets 300. We don't want to scare him away if he's drawing dead. I call. Maybe under the gun +1 will do something wild with the hand that's drawing dead too. Under the gun +1 gathers chips. He just calls though. This is set up great for us since 2 opponents put in additional chips, likely with no outs. The river is the 7 of hearts. It's a terrific card that should allow us to make a lot of money if either opponent hit a backdoor flush. I check with plans of putting in a raise. Under the gun +1 checks. Even if the cutoff has a missed spade draw or missed straight draw, maybe he'll fire as a bluff thinking that no one's done anything to indicate much strength so far and he could steal it with air. The absolute worst case scenario ensues. The cutoff checks back. I show our full house. I'm shocked at what our 2 opponents checked behind us with. Under the gun +1 has king 5 of hearts for the nut flush, and the cutoff has the case ace.
Jesus. I'm fucking the best. I'm fucking the best.
It's insane. All right. You're something.
Yeah.
Jesus. That one hurts. It feels like a loss. It's hard to be much more disappointed in a win than that. The wrong people had the exact right hands I was hoping to be up against. I only trapped myself out of winning any additional cash on the river. Someone comment that I need to bet my own hands so I can pin it at the top of the comment section and remind myself every time I click on this video in the future.